It was the year 2020, a year where civilization was living in bliss, oblivious to the darkness that was about to take over. An outbreak so severe and catastrophic hit humanity so fast and so hard we were unable to cope. A virus that took hold of the human lungs spread like wildfire and leaving people in critical condition, forcing us to be locked in our homes and live in imminent isolation. This was the future, and it was scary. The fight between humans and virus became our new norm, and a battle within our immune system was the key to survival. It became up to us as individuals to decide how we responded to the outbreak and dictate our fate. It all began with our human, Derek, who was making his way to his best friend's house that he hasn't seen in weeks. He hums to the sick spring break tunes on his earphones as he's tired of hearing all the news about the virus outbreak. He beams at the idea of convincing his friend to come out to that radical pool party to finally kiss the girl of his dreams.
Ah, my sweet Gwen,
he mumbles, oblivious to what's about to come. Derek's immune system knows better, preparing for the battle that awaits. I don't know how much our troops can handle anymore, and I worry about them, Elijah. Countless boozy days, lack of sleep. Our human's immune system can't handle any more mistakes. How are we going to fight off any viruses that come our way?
Talia, my sweet, you always worry. We will protect this human with all our might and find strength in our courage. It is up to us to influence our troops after all. And a woman as fierce as you will never allow such evil to win. I know it.
Elijah looks at her warmingly. He makes his way over to her, attempting to make a comforting hand on her shoulder, before she quickly nudges her arm out of his reach. Talia treads to her mount, frowning at the thought of a battle she knows is approaching. She slowly strokes its neck and whispers, "Are you ready? Because we're in for one heck of a ride." She turns to Elijah and says confidently, "We will stop at nothing for our human. Let us go and save the host," before kicking her mount in the back and riding off towards her troops.
We have waited our whole lives for this very moment. Our very existence depends on this mission alone. Who are we otherwise? What are we otherwise? We are conquerors. We will not fail to take over the host. No. This disgusting runt of a human is just one obstacle on our path to victory. Do we think that this pathetic bag of bones that we live in will stop us from taking over the world?
Zargon grins as he eyes his strong, untamed troops. They lick their sharp teeth, eager to shred anything in their path.
We will not waste 1 minute longer, as it is coming to the time that we plan our next attack onto the new human. At this rate, we've been dropping like flies, left, right, and center. It is a sign of weakness, and we will not allow it, and we will not be undermined by some scummy race. I want to see the humans fall to their knees. I want to see them weak. I want to see them cower. We need to show them who is boss. Social distancing? Washing hands? Huh. The human will slip up in no time. And when he does, I want to see his blood run cold.
A slender, endearing figure walks over to General Zargon as he plans his attack strategy near the soldier's base.
What's the status update?
Zargon asks.
Sir, we've just transported all of our strongest troops to the nasal cavity. We're ready when you are.
How many?
Almost 1 billion.
Good. Enough numbers to guarantee that the strong survive. Either way, we only need to take over a few measly human cells. From there, we can replicate and spread.
The weak are no longer our problem. It is a small sacrifice for our queen.
Ursula hisses. General Zargon looks Ursula up and down before smirking.
And what about the spreader?
Our next target? Well, it has returned just as we suspected. This is our chance to take over the host. All we have to do is wait for one simple sneeze. We'll take this chance to propel our troops, and not before long, it'll be ours.
General Zargon darts his eyes onto the new host, examining the next course of action.
Just look at him. Disgusting things, aren't they? He's so stupid. He'll infect every other human in his path within days.
He snickers.
Yo, dude, it's spring break! Why are you quarantining yourself like a loser? So what if you feel a little off? Have a damn drink! I've missed you, man!
Derek shouts. Zargon's eyes glisten as he sees the spreader attempt to slap their host on the shoulder, only to be disappointed by his quick reflexes.
Derek, come on, bro. Don't touch me. I already told you, we need to keep our distance. We can't just go around spreading this virus all over the place.
Their host then scrambles to the other end of the room, pressing his hands over his mouth.
Too smart for his own good.
Zargon says while rolling his eyes. Zargon walks back in the direction of the troops.
Clearly, the little coward is too cautious.
He thinks to himself.
He's been isolated for nearly 2 weeks and constantly washing his hands after touching anything. At this rate, there will be none of us left. Ursula!
Zargon shouts.
Round the troops and get ready to open fire. We'll create enough irritation in the nose so that the human sneezes. This way, we can go full throttle and destroy him. Remember, we have to aim inside his mouth or nose. This is our best chance.
Get the catapults ready!
Ursula squeals before she makes her way over to the troops. The nose is filled with billions of soldiers, scrambling and eager to fight for their cause. The warriors roar with excitement, pushing and shoving to be front line in the battle while others begin tugging at the nose hairs to create the perfect sneeze. Hastily, the soldiers start piling million by million onto a catapult, waiting for their commander to join them in conquest. Zargon makes his way past the soldiers, striding along onto the biggest catapult as the army cheers him on.
My soldiers! Are we ready to rip apart this filth of a being? A battle awaits us on that host, but it is nothing that we can't handle, because we will stop at nothing to take over the human race. For our queen!
Zargon knows exactly where they want to land. The spreader's face or airways. But how easily can this be done? If they target the mouth, the catapults have to fire more precisely. But if they miss, many of Zargon's army will perish without a new host.
Screw it.
He contemplates.
Survival of the fittest. Those of us that can make it, can take over the whole body.
Each catapult is now being pulled back, ready to be discharged at full force so that the army can reach the new host's face. Soldiers are cheering with excitement, stomping their feet as they line up in rows, waiting for their turn on the catapult. And with the biggest blow, Zargon shouts,
Ready, set, fire!
Billions of soldiers are seen launching towards the new host's face. But not all make it. The catapults were strong enough as half the soldiers' bodies went flailing down towards the ground. They scramble to latch onto whatever surface area they have, whether that's the arm, legs, or chest. But one thing Zargon does know is that they are in for one hell of a ride. Zargon is now inches away from reaching the new host's mouth. Suddenly, the spreader flinches backwards from the sneeze, and Zargon is sure he won't make it. But from the corner of the human's mouth, a small creak of an opening is seen.
Perfect.
He smirks. He aims for the opening and crashes into the spreader's teeth. Zargon slowly opens his eyes. He hears the sound of the chaos everywhere. Still dazed, he struggles to sit up.
How long have I been out?
He eyes his surroundings and can see that the new host's immune system defenses have already been alarmed. That must mean he's been out for a couple of days.
Ah, great.
He thinks. But just as he begins to stand up, a giant mount of riding plasma cell lunges over him and blasts a virus soldier with antibodies, knocking him back onto the ground. Zargon tries to pull himself back into consciousness, but all he can see are his soldiers dropping like flies beside him. He shoves their useless bodies out of the way and quickly yanks at one of the plasma cell's mounts, pulling himself up before bestowing a mounty kick right to their face, forcing them off of their ride. "Elijah, no!" a woman cries in the distance. Zargon swiftly turns his head in the direction of the noise, only to be shocked by the most endearing sight he has ever seen. A voluptuous figure glows from afar, her hair thick and long. Her cape fits perfectly with her shoulder pads, with a symbol etched onto each side. Her skirt, though short, is made out of armor to protect her perfect, strong body from any battle. And her eyes, a piercing blue, so light it could almost appear white, has focused all of her attention straight at Zargon. And she is furious. He can't help but wonder.
Who in the world is this mold of a beauty? And how can I get my hands on her? Whoever she is, I want her. And I want her to be mine.
He whispers, licking his lips ever so slowly. If Zargon is correct, she is a plasma cell, the mother of antibody defenses, and exactly what he wants to corrupt.
Such a waste of beauty. Because when I'm done with her, she'll be just as vile as I am.
Faster than ever, he brushes his cape out of the way and yanks a chain out of his belt and begins to swing it in circular motions to reach maximum momentum. And just like that, he tosses a chain in the direction of the maiden, wrapping it around her legs, forcing her to fall to the ground.
Gotcha!
He barks. Slowly, he pulls her struggling body towards him, right until she is close enough. But just before she can get away, he firmly sets his foot on her neck. He looks her directly in the eye and says,
Let's have a little fun, shall we, doll?